Labour MP Duncan Webb's stupidity beggars belief. Firstly, listen to this analytical nonsense from the New Zealand Labour Party's Duncan Webb regarding the Equal Pay Amendment Bill. His stupidity beggars belief.
Duncan Webb.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. There's just two things I want to talk about. One relates to comments made by the Minister around comparators, and we know that the Clause 13ZE is adjusting the framing for comparators, and there's a concern that there's a narrowing of the ability to compare across industries. And the Minister's made some comments sort of suggesting, and I think they were, that air traffic controllers were more deserving of their high pay than, say, social workers, and that no comparison could be made across them. And I just did want to point out that this is a really good example of exactly where the problem lies, because in fact, if you look at the careers.govt.nz website, it's actually a useful framing of the qualifications needed for various roles and what the pay expectations might be. And whereas social workers require to be a registered social worker under the current regime requires a degree, a bachelor's degree, a professional bachelor's degree, which I understand is actually 4 years in social work, air traffic control only may require, not even compulsory, but it may require level 6 qualification. And the pay indications are 52 to 92,000 for a social worker, and if we go over to a air traffic controller, it's in fact $140,000 to $228,000 for a occupation which doesn't actually require, although some of them will have, doesn't require a degree level qualification. So that's the example the Minister used to suggest that those disparities are in some way justifiable, and to be perfectly honest, it beggars belief that she could think that where there are clear comparators that you can say there's a mismatch here, something needs to be addressed.
Using across-industry comparisons to justify equal pay is not only futile, it's totally invalid, full stop. And Duncan Webb actually highlights why, although he was trying to be smart and prove otherwise. Just Google this, but there are hundreds of high-paying jobs that don't require a degree or any type of tertiary education qualifications. There are far too many to list, so Google this fact for yourselves. Webb is correct when he says that air traffic controllers don't need a degree, but neither do members of Parliament, yet social workers do need a degree. To become a New Zealand Member of Parliament, you don't require any specific secondary education requirements at all, yet MPs receive enormous salaries plus, no questions asked, expenses upwards of nearly $250,000 a year. Should social workers who require a degree be paid the same as MPs who don't require any kind of formal qualification? Or perhaps better still, should MPs, especially Labour Party MPs, have their salaries reduced to the same level as social workers, or better still, even lower? Of course air traffic controllers deserve higher salaries than social workers, as many other professions that don't require a degree also do. Just Google away for some easy examples. Let's compare an air traffic controller to a social worker. A social worker provides care, advice and support to individuals, families and communities with social and health needs. They work in various settings, including government agencies, health providers and non-governmental organisations, focusing on holistic family care. An air traffic controller is a very high-stress job. Controllers are responsible for the safety of thousands of lives on board aircraft every day. The job requires intense focus, quick decision-making under pressure, and the ability to handle complex situations. Controllers need to be able to coordinate the movement of dozens, sometimes even hundreds of aircraft simultaneously. Air traffic controllers are responsible for preventing collisions and ensuring the safe movement of aircraft, which can involve significant consequences. The pressure to maintain safety and prevent collisions can be overwhelming, especially during peak travel times or in challenging weather conditions. ATCs must be able to handle unexpected events, such as aircraft malfunctions or medical emergencies. Minor mistakes can have serious consequences, leading to accidents, injuries, or even death. Duncan Webb, your gross stupidity beggars belief. Thank you for listening. WhangāreiTim.